All right, today we're gonna look at something pretty unique. This is the Makita Drywall Saw. So there's no other tool really on the market like it, but I'm gonna show you why it's definitely something you wanna have, especially if you're doing a lot of remodeling or messing with a lot of drywall. This saw is really awesome because it cuts pretty exact in drywall and it doesn't make a mess. You don't have to worry about cutting stuff behind the drywall. So this kind of works. It's kind of almost like a jigsaw. It oscillates, but let's look at this right here. So you're getting close to here. You can see how it kind of just goes up and down like that. And that blade oscillates just a little bit. Now the cool thing about this blade is you can see that slot there, so you can set it to an exact thickness. So right now this is set for 1/2 inch drywall and it will cut exactly 1/2 inch drywall. It'll just break that paper in the back so it comes out nice and cleanly, and you don't even have to worry about cutting anything behind it, like any wires or any plumbing or anything like that. Actually, I used this on one job where I was cutting a ceiling out, and for whatever reason it was a remodel, so the electrician who originally did that ran a wire on top of a joist. I don't know how he got away with that, but anyway, my cut line was right across where that wire was. Well, I ran right across where it was and it didn't even nick the insulation on the wire, but that drywall came out super cleanly, and that basically paid for this right there in that one instance, because I didn't have to cut that wire and have the electrician come back and rerun that run of that wire. Just that fact, this thing is awesome, that you don't have to worry about cutting anything back behind it as long as you set that blade to whatever thickness of drywall you're doing. Cool thing too about this is the dust extraction on it. It makes very little mess. So this whole enclosure right here, you can hook up a vacuum to this. I think it's really meant for the Makita backpack vac. Works really good with it. I don't have that, but I know it works good with it because it's cordless too, and then you can put it on your back and you can go anywhere and cut any drywall you want, and their hose goes right on this. You can make any hose kind of work. You might have to, like I have some of the Festool vacs and stuff, you might have to get an adapter for it, because that's one bad thing about this Makita and their dust extraction is sometimes they got weird sizes that doesn't work with a lot of other stuff. I got a couple other Makita tools like a belt sander and stuff, and you have to get an adapter or something to make that work, or stretch your hose over it, or even tape it over. I've done that, but once you do get the vacuum on it, it works really good. I'm not going to say 100% dustless because it's still drywall, and drywall always makes a mess, but it does a better job than probably anything else you're going to use to cut drywall out. Like sometimes I've used grinders or other tools that have more of a circular blade that cuts it, and because that circular blade is going so fast that even if you have something hooked up to it, it's just going to spew the drywall dust other places. So really good at the not making a mess when you're cutting that. So how it works is basically it's got a line here and your blade line right here and right here, so you can draw your line on the wall, cut it out, and get the exact part out that you wanted the drywall. It does work on any of Makita's 18-volt batteries, and it sips the battery. Battery life on this is really good because it's not really running super fast, and you don't need a big powerful motor to cut through just drywall. So I mean, I've even went all day on a 2.0 slim pack battery, and it just did really good. But the 5.0, you can do multiple jobs probably on a 5.0. It's got a little light on it. Sometimes though, the hose, if you have it, gets in the way of it. So I don't know if they could have maybe done that a little bit better. One other kind of bad thing about it is the blades. So the blades are proprietary. you can get, they're kind of expensive, and it's just kind of a piece of stamped metal, so it's got the teeth on it like that. This is the same blade that came with it. It only came with one blade, and I've used it for multiple jobs, but I made sure I didn't hit any screws. So if you do hit any screw, you want to check, like I'll make a line, and if you check with a magnet or something like that, to make sure there's no screws in there, and take it out, because if you do hit a screw, I think I might have hit one or two, and it just kind of destroys the teeth a little bit. So if you're going to hit a lot of screws, you're going to mess this blade up quick. You don't want to do that because they are pricey. I think a 3-pack of the blades are like $25, but that's because nobody else makes the blade. It's a proprietary blade, and so you want to try to avoid hitting any screws or any kind of metal or stuff like that, because it's just stamped steel, no carbide or anything like that. One benefit of this is mainly just for using to cut drywall, but instead you can take this blade out, and if you have a 18mm snapped off blade, like an Olfa blade, you can actually put that in it, and then you can use it to cut foam insulation board. So it does a good job at actually cutting foam insulation board. But yeah, this is just, it's a very unique tool. Like I said, there's no other tool like it on the market. Really, you can use other things to cut drywall, but this just really excels because it just does exactly what you need it to. You can use things like a multi-tool, grinder, other things to cut drywall. But like I said, this thing is pretty much paid for itself already multiple times over. I've been using it for over a year now, and had no issues with it. So yeah, especially if you're doing a lot of remodeling and stuff, taking out drywall and patching and things like that. It's really good to have. I would really recommend picking it up if you're doing a lot of that stuff. So hope you like the review. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and for daily reviews and littler stuff, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.